Cassandra, you've done it again. You've made my heart feel so many amazing emotions, and then tore my heart out and crushed it in your hands. Ugh. I love this feeling. Guys, it's been so long since I've read a Cassandra Clare book. Yes, I've read the Shadowhunter Academy Tales a few weeks ago, but I haven't actually read one of her big books that she's been writing for like many, many years, since 2007, since City of Heavenly Fire was released. So getting my hands back on a book that she's written has been such an amazing experience that makes me want to cry because I missed it so much, so much. Especially because that book is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. So today I'm going to be doing a review on Lady Midnight and talking about all the emotions and my opinions on this book. The first part of this video will be spoiler free, so do not worry if you have not read the book yet. I'll be giving you a spoiler free review, and then we're gonna go get down to business and talk about all the things of Lady Midnight. So you will leave at that point if you do not want to be spoiled. Okay, so this is gonna be like a very long review, I have a feeling, but you know what? Like my last review on one of her books was 28 minutes long. Yeah. That was on City of Heavenly Fire, and I think City of Heavenly Fire is the same amount, if not less pages than Lady Midnight. Let me check. Literally, I sticky noted these books so much, I don't even think I can get all the sticky notes out of them. It would take too long. Okay, so Lady Midnight is 668 pages, not including the short story at the end that has taken place with our old pals in the Mortal Instruments series. And City of Heavenly Fire, City of Heavenly Fire has exceeded that number. Oh yeah, definitely. By 725 pages. So actually, City of Heavenly Fire is larger, but that's just saying a lot because Cassandra's first book in this series was definitely not as long as Lady Midnight. And you know what? I'm so happy Lady Midnight's so long because I could literally live in these worlds that she creates for years. I really could. Okay, so Lady Midnight, we are already used to the world of the Shadowhunters and what it contains and like how the hierarchy works of it, like the Clave, and how there are downworlders, warlocks, fairies, vampires, and other creatures like demons, but they aren't part of the downworld. They're just part of hell. So we already know the bare bones of this world, and we already know about these characters that are mentioned in this book, like how Clary and Chase are these famous Shadowhunters now, which makes me so happy because they totally deserve that fame because literally they put their life on the line more than once and died definitely more than once, and they came back and they died again, then came back. Fun stuff, guys, fun stuff. So we didn't have to really build up the world at the beginning of this novel, so that saved a lot of room for us just to get into it and know these characters, which I really enjoyed. Something that was different about this book was that they actually used some technology in it, unlike in the Mortal Instruments series where they really didn't, especially not in the Infernal Devices since, you know, technology wasn't created then, obviously. So like Ty, he loves technology, he loves computers and phones and all that fun stuff because he's like, you know, it's easier to search it on the web than go through like, you know, books upon books upon books trying to find information, and he is so correct. So I definitely did like the technology aspect in this novel. I think that was definitely unique, and it actually made sense because it wasn't too much technology to overwhelm the reader and be like, this does not feel like the Shadowhunter world, but it was just enough so it's like, hey, this makes sense, and it'll move the process of finding out the big mystery in this book along a little bit faster. You know, you think that one would learn to not trust Cassandra Clare when going into her books, not to fall in love with any characters right away, because you never know, the next page you read, they could be dead. Because, you know, that's happened a lot with me in her books recently, and I hurt. It's painful. Ah. But somehow I tend to disregard that fact whenever I go into one of her books because I'm like, hey, maybe this one will be different. Nah, because you cannot trust anyone. No one. And like the people you think you can't trust, you end up you can trust, and then the people you think you can't trust end up being awful murderers and killers and Sorry, I got a little red out there just because the emotions are still very fresh. I finished this book like an hour ago. Hey. So I love the characters of Emma and Julian. I knew that I would love them just because they are kind of like a mix of Cassandra's previous characters she brought to life in the past Shadowhunter series. So I kind of mix and match each characters from the previous series, and then those characters created Julian and Emma. So these are the characters that I think make up each of them. Emma is the spawn of Clary and Jace, no doubt. Okay, so she has this impulsiveness that Clary has, being like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go do something that's probably not gonna end up very nicely and well for me, but I'm gonna do it anyway anyways, because why not? And then she has Jace, because Jace is like snarky, has sarcasm, and she definitely has those aspects to her that makes her so much fun to read about, because she never takes a situation too seriously unless it needs to be serious. So I'm like, I like that lightheartedness in her, and I like how she just has these amazing lines in this book that literally made me LOL. And then Julian, he's kind of like a mix between Will and Jem. And I'm not saying that these characters don't have their own individual sense of self, but these characters really just are a nice combination of all these characters, and it makes me happy to read about, because I'm like, there's this familiarity with them that usually wouldn't have been there if I didn't read the past Shadowhunter Chronicle novels. So Julian, he's a mix between Jem and Will, because he has Jem's softness and his just like likableness, but then he has Will's like drive to be there for the ones that he loves and help protect them, because Will has that, and he's like, you know what, I love these people and I'm gonna keep them safe, and that's definitely what Julian has. And then Julian also does art, he paints, and you know, that's kind of like Clary too, and I really loved how he did that, because there's so many beautiful lines in this that just work so perfectly in it, because it related to his art and the people that he loves and cares about, and it was like, ah, yes. I'm not gonna get too much into the forbidden romance between the two of them, because I want you guys to read it for yourself and kind of get your own opinions from it, but I truly loved it. I thought it was so good. Cassandra Clare definitely knows how to do a forbidden romance and breaks their heart in the end, but rebuilds it and then breaks it and then rebuilds it and breaks it. So I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Cassandra. The plotline of this book was so solid. It was a very large book, but it never felt forced or rushed or slow. Everything was building upon each other, and it kept on just making this whole elaborate story make sense, and whenever you had questions, they were usually answered or kept hidden, and still are hidden at the end, so they'd be answered in the next few books that are coming out in the Dark Artifices series. Artifices? So I'm really happy about that, because I never felt not content with this book. This book was just so freaking well done, and like, just saying, Cassandra Clare, she has started off as a very good writer, and she's just become an exceptional writer. Like in City of Bones, like she was a great writer, but just seeing her grow and adjust as a writer and kind of advance, like especially in this book, which I'll go further into detail with later on in the review in the spoiler section, she's just really built upon her authorness-ship. That's not a word, but we're gonna pretend like it is. And she has become this exceptional author, and it really shown in this story. So yeah, I gave this book like, you know, 5 out of 5 stars, a 10 out of 5 stars, a 30 out of 5 stars, because I'm just in love with this world. This world is really what got me involved in the young adult community. I would say like Hunger Games got me involved, but it just got me started. This really got me involved, the Mortal Instruments series, and I love this world, and I cannot wait to see more of it. So that is it for my spoiler-free section. If you want to go read the book and then come back, please do, because I'm going to be talking about tons of stuff that has happened in this book and sharing my feels with you.